There's one piece of advice that I give to anyone thinking about starting a video production company with their friend or going into a business partnership, and that is don't do it. Now, of course, I'm only joking. There's loads of benefits to being in a business partnership, but there are also a lot of challenges. And I've mentored loads of people through our Perspective Academy who are in business partnerships, some that have worked out and some that haven't. And I just wanted to share some advice for people who might be thinking about starting a production company with their best friend, or those who are already in business partnerships, but perhaps there's some challenges there, or just want to hear what I've got to say that will make your business run a lot better. Now, of course, I'm not in a business partnership, but I know a lot of people, friends and family, who are in one, and some that have worked out to be successful and others that haven't. And the main challenge that you face in a business partnership is one person being more proactive than the other. And I'm not necessarily talking about right now, this month, this year. I'm talking about in 10, 20 years time, when perhaps things change and it all becomes a lot different. And it's fine saying, oh, I don't mind growing the business at the moment, it's fine because that person, just does that or whatever. But how's that going to feel to you in 10 years time when you're the person trying to take the business to the next level and perhaps that other person isn't? Now, of course, that's just one factor of a lot of factors that can happen as well. And I'll get into a little bit more detail as well and provide some advice on how using a really simple strategy that I'll share with you at the end of this video can help transform your business. And this is actually still applicable to if you're a freelancer or you're an independent business owner thinking about employing staff. Using this strategy is going to really help structure your business much better. Now, of course, the benefits to having a business partnership, and there are loads, but the main one is that you've got two heads. Two heads are often better than one, and you're able to utilize both of your skill sets. It also means that you've got both people to invest in your business. So perhaps with camera equipment, if you're buying a camera for $5,000, technically it's only costing you $2,500 because you're halving it with your business partner. Now, here's the tricky thing, don't forget, that also means that if you want to make, let's say 50 grand a year, you need to make 100 grand a year profit before you can take 50 grand each, because whatever you have, your business partner has to have too. And that can often be the thing that people don't think about. It is, yes, you've got two people to make sales, but you also need to pay two people's salaries. So you need to do twice as much volume to pay for if you were just doing it for your own. Now, I just want to mention that business partnerships obviously aren't all bad, and I'm going to give it a bit of a grilling because I think there's a lot of things that people don't think about. And for the business partnerships and people that I've personally mentored and that hasn't worked out, it's generally because one of these factors were overlooked at the very beginning. If you watch these videos and you think and use our strategy at the very end to really start to think about, yeah, that all sounds good about my business, that all fits in, we're both on the same page, then absolutely do it. There's loads of successful businesses that have worked with business partnerships, and it can be a great, great business model. But that's only if everyone is clear on their roles, their responsibilities, and what they're accountable for at the end of the day. Another mistake I've seen business partnerships make is the fact that they go, okay, you get two people in this shoot. So someone, and this happens a lot, by the way. So a client books you for a shoot, and both business people turn up to the shoot because they're both creatives. They both love creating content. So they go to every shoot together, but they're not paying for two people. The clients are just paying to have one person there, or maybe a very small fee for the second person in the minority of cases. Most people, because they're both creative, just try to do all of the shoots together. And two people on a shoot is better than one. There's often no doubt about that. But when you're not getting paid for it, you have to think that doesn't make much business sense. If I have to work, if I think about the salary that I want, now I look at my day rates and I look at how much I charge, or maybe I look at the average cost per customer, the average amount that they spend with us. And then I work out how many days a year I need to work. So let's say for me, I need to work 100 days a year. I need to work on 100 projects to take home the profit, the salary that I want. Now, if you add a business partner to that and they're taking the same thing, you now need to work 200 days. And that's fine. And the advantage of being in a business partnership is actually you could, in theory, both work the same 100 days, because you could be working on one shoot while the other person is working on the other shoot. What doesn't work is that business partnerships where they both work on every single project together is not an efficient use of time. So what happens is that both business partners have to now work 200 days to earn the same salary as if they had just worked 100 days by themselves. Now, business should be fun. You should never start a business if you're not passionate about doing that thing, and you shouldn't start a business if you think it's going to be something you're going to end up resenting, for obvious reasons, right? We all start a business because we want to create amazing content for brands. We want to get noticed, and we want to just really develop our own skills. And unfortunately in business, as you know through my series of my failing production company, you'll know that there's a lot of setbacks and challenges you face along the way. And that's where it becomes apparent if people are on the same page or not. And it's often very hard to have difficult conversations with someone who is either your best friend or a business partner in any kind of sense of the word, because you then need to start to have these honest conversations about who's not pulling their weight, or perhaps challenges that you face in the business, or issues with that person. You might have experienced this with your own family members. No doubt you love your family members, but if you were to spend, over lockdown, months in a box with them of your house, they're gonna get pretty annoying. And that same thing happens with business partners. If anything, you spend more time with your business partner and your colleagues than you do with your actual family. So before I move on to our strategies of how to overcome these things, the main thing I want you to think about is to always be clear and concise. Don't beat around the bush. Tell the business partner what you want out of it, get them to tell you what they want out of it, and start to align your business's goals so you can achieve both of those goals and come up with a unified goal that grows their business and means that you're winning, they're winning, and you have a really happy and healthy business model. So if anyone requests to be personally mentored by me and they're in a business partnership, on day one of my mentoring program, I'm going to sit them down and talk them through this exact same strategy. We obviously go into a lot more detail, but I'm going to give you an overview of the principles you need to be thinking about. So earlier on, I mentioned roles, responsibilities, and accountability. Now, as a business owner, and this is why it applies to freelancers and individual business owners at the moment as well, you obviously wear a lot of different hats. You wear the sales hat, you wear the marketing hat, you wear the editor's hat, you wear the filmer's hat, you wear the the pre-production hat, you wear the account manager's hat. There's lots of different roles within your business that naturally, as a one-man band, you have to do. And it's the same within a business partnership. Now, we didn't actually realize within our own business, when I employed my first person, Nathan, it was just a case of copy and paste. If there's two of us doing the same thing, then that works really well. And it kind of did until we employed our third person. And that, just some reason, it didn't work. Nothing flowed properly. We were all stepping on each other's toes. And that's because no one had clear roles and responsibilities. And it wasn't until we started to structure our business properly and start to really work out our systems and procedures that everything really started to work like a well-oiled machine, and meant that every time we employed new people, it would come into a business that we would adapt slightly to fit in with the new person, and then we would be able to again continue that growth. Now, although it worked well with me and Nathan just kind of doing two things, we weren't efficient, and I was doing exactly what we said at the very start, which was working effectively 200 days when we could have just been working 100 days each and would have saved a lot more time. So, keeping in mind roles, responsibilities, and accountabilities, write down every job that you can think of, like I've just mentioned, that you do within your business. Write that down. Then next to it, put the name of the person who is responsible for that thing. So let's say my mate Jeff. My name is Jeff. Jeff is responsible for sales. Now that doesn't mean that I don't help him with sales. It just means that he's responsible for making sure everything in a sales sense is done. If he needs help, he asks me. Sales is not in the forefront of my mind. However, I've noticed that marketing is the best thing for me. My skill set suits marketing the best. So that's for me, that's my responsibility. I'm responsible for our marketing. Filming and editing, and then again, go through this whole list and just work out who is better suited to that part of your business. That doesn't mean that you don't help your business partner out. Of course you do, but they are responsible for delivering on the things that they said they would do. Now you all have a clear, defined role. You know what you're responsible for, and you know what to do to keep you accountable. You now have some sort of a structure so you can work more efficiently. If you're not getting paid to send 2 people onto a shoot, don't send 2 people onto a shoot. Have one person dealing with a client. Maybe a new client comes in, that's better suited to you. You take that client. Another client comes in, that's better suited to me. I'll take that client. And you can start to work on it like that way to build a unified business, but become a lot more efficient. And if you're all on the same page, you're not going to face the challenges that a lot of businesses do, where they feel like one person is trying to grow the business and perhaps they feel the other person's holding them back. One person decides they want to do something completely different, and it starts to come up with a lot of problems down the line. And if you want something that's going to be really helpful, then think about creating a videography business plan. This plan is going to help you structure your business so much better and help you really take it to the next level and make some more money. I hope you found this video useful. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And if you're not subscribed, like 80% of you aren't subscribed, please press that button. It's free to do so. So why wouldn't you?